Hello viewers and subscribers, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about the people who can see on the other side. They've looked into Liam Payne's death because from his passing, a lot of us has been saying there's something odd about his passing. So I know I have, a few Christians who understands that I'm a content creator, and as such, if they're not, if their faith doesn't support this, they would normally up off these videos. So out of respect for those people, I just wanted to make that clear earlier in the video so that you can make a decision. And I respect you guys so much when you guys, say to me, you know what? This is not my thing, but do your thing, Star. I understand that it comes with the territory. I appreciate you guys so very much. No, for me personally, I respect belief. I don't know if it is because, during my years of attending high school, my career choice had put me in the field of religious education. And as such, I was thought, the basic principles of all religions. That's not, what we call New Age today. So I was taught all the basic principles of all the religions besides the New Age ones that have now been introduced. I don't know anything about those. So I'm just saying my study of, the various religion has made me respect people' religious belief. Even if it's not something that I believe in myself, I will always let people know. Now, as it relates to people who can see on the other side, I believe those people, and I believe that these things do happen because I've had, experience with communicating with people from the other side, not by choice. And I thought that ain't no way I'm communicating with someone from the other side through a dream. But waking up and sharing my dream first thing in the morning with the person who was on the other side communicating with me, I reached out to her mom, and her mom was like, "Oh, so she came to you too?" And I was like, other people got this dream? And she said, yes, maybe about 10 of you guys called me this morning with the same thing. So this is how I know that, the people from the other side, they do speak, and the messages that a group of us we're getting from the other side is not as though we asked for those message. And to be specific, I'm going to tell you guys that I do get messages from time to time. I don't ask, I don't consider myself to be a psychic medium or anything like that, but I do get messages from time to time from people who have passed on the other side. I've been getting those messages ever since I was a child, but as a child, I would just keep quiet or sometimes say it to my mom, and my mom would reach out to the individual to let them know. But I think it became deeper for me when my daughter aunt passed, because we had such an amazing relationship, and she would often dream me and ask me to, she would tell me that her son is in England. He's very cold in his room and he needs to put on some socks and he needs to get a thicker blanket. And when I wake up in the morning, reached out to her mom, to give her mom the message, the mom is like, yeah, that's my daughter's grandmother. She would be like, yeah, you're about the 10th person giving me this message. And I remember after her passing, my daughter was going to go to the river. And I remember specifically that she dreamt me the day before and said, teach the baby how to swim. Teach the baby how to swim. The following day, my daughter went to the river. She almost drowned. So I know that these things are real. I know that when someone is, given a dream or given a gift, oftentimes they really don't even ask for it. It's just something that happens. And, in our culture, oftentimes we were thought that, thought that these things are evil. It's dark, but I don't see anything evil based on my experience, I never channeled a dead person. I just get the messages, and when I get them, I'll deliver them. That's what I do if it makes sense to me. Sometimes I think it doesn't make sense, but when it keeps reoccurring, I'm like, okay, this person wants me to do that for them. No, it's a thing. I don't know. It's just a thing that happens from time to time. But back to what I was saying with Liam Payne. I just wanted to make that clear so people understand, where I'm coming from. No, with Liam Payne, there are some people who often looks into the other side when an individual has passed. And with what has been going on in Hollywood, the moment that Liam Payne passed, the moment that we learned of his passing, many people, sirens and alarms started going off. Many people started saying, something weird is up with this man's passing. People have been showing in the hotel room with, a cracked TV screen and all of that. And people have been looking at his passing before, his moments before his passing, and said, even though sometimes these things, it will look, happy 2 or 3 hours before the incident. So the person will look happy 2 or 3 hours prior to the incident. And then you hear that, they did something to themselves. But what is triggering the alarm for many of us is the fact that Hollywood is highly involved in ritual. When I heard of Liam Payne's passing, immediately I said to myself, how is it that so many people are falling off balconies since of lately? So, I was lurking around to see any of the people who looks on the other side that I know is credible have looked on the other side. And I came across Lottie Lux. Now, I've told you guys about her before, like maybe a year and a half ago or so. She told us that there were so many celebrities in Hollywood being sex trafficked. She said the numbers are more than we can ever imagine. And she was saying, like Hailey Bieber, Kim Kardashian, and she gave a few names. And we were like, no, girl, no one is sex trafficking Kim. Kim is just a hoe. But then we later slowly realized what she was talking about. So she has called out a few things, and she has been extremely credible. So Lottie Lux is saying, someone close to Liam Payne, who is also a friend of hers, asked her to look on the other side. When she looked on the other side, she can tell us that Liam Payne was taken out, and she also said that there was a ritual performed before his passing, as though they orchestrated his death, and they were expecting him to pass, so they would conduct these rituals. Now, Sloan Belle has shared with us the ritualistic nature of Hollywood. We know that she has told us that, think about it for yourselves. So many people cannot be dying in their bathtubs. She has told us that those are reverse baptism, like what they did to Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina, and a few others, right? So as such, we have some understanding. Even if you read your Bible, you have some understanding of what a ritual is. But Hollywood, they basically, based on what I'm understanding, when you want to mock God, you would do the reverse. So let's say, for example, the initiation process of becoming a Christian, you go through that water baptism. But in Hollywood, what they do is do the reverse of that. So you're born again, because that's what the water baptism symbolizes. You're born again. You're renewed. So in Hollywood, what they would do is that if they want to ritualize your death, depending on what they want to achieve, they may have a ritual before your passing, or when you've passed, if they know that they can get access to your body, they would have that ritual. They would give you a reverse baptism after they've taken you out. So it's like, it is a mockery to God, basically. Now, with Liam Payne's passing, according to Lottie Lux, they did the ritual before his passing. She said that there's a lot of information that's going to come out, that's going to, open our eyes to the fact that this man did not pass in the manner in which they're telling us he passed. She also said that, he was catched into love by a man. And I've seen another lady. She's a senior on TikTok. She says she normally peaks on the other side. And she said that when Liam hit the ground, he was taken up by a gentleman because, when you pass, you come out of your body, right? Your soul still lives on. So this lady said that someone, that looks like a grandfather figure came to collect him. And Lottie Lux said the same thing. She said that, there were other people, there that wanted to capture him because, but his loved one was there on time to ensure that whatever ritual they did or whatever, it didn't, they didn't reap that success because, just as how those people are evil and they orchestrate stuff, they have stuff planned and they travel to the astral, they try to pretend, they try to be God, so there are people who does the reverse of that, who does good. And sometimes people are pushed into position to protect people when they pass without even knowing, for example, with Takeoff's passing, when that nurse rushed to his assistance, that is what saved Takeoff consciousness because they wanted to capture his consciousness. But the nurse rushing to his assistance, she was pushed into that motion. So they didn't get to trap his consciousness. So with Liam Payne, with his, I think many people have been referencing that individual to grandfather. I'm not sure if it is, but that person came and ensured that, their ritual wasn't a success. And Liam Payne is okay. Lottie Lux is letting us know that there's going to be a breakthrough. We're going to know some amount of what truly happened besides what they're telling us because they want us to believe that this guy was just this drug crazed kind of person who just, had too much to drink and he had too much drugs and he ended up in a whatever order. And she wants us to know that's not what happened. No, I know that people would normally say respect the family, but I believe that people need to talk about these things, echo it, repeat it as often as you can so that the families start questioning the things that they're being told so that the families can start saying, but really that doesn't make any sense. So I don't see why when there's a red flag, we should shut up. It's not as though, if someone was parading, the photographs on the website and saying that, horrible things, that's different. But people are saying this man did not die as though they're telling us that he did. He did not because even with the people in the hotel lobby, that was a setup. I'm learning, when the people say, that he was acting erratic and all of that, I'm learning that she's saying that is a setup and that is not, necessarily what happened. So the entire thing was orchestrated to make it seem as though he was erratic and out of control before he was in his hotel room. And also there is a song that was released by One Direction. I think it was October. I don't remember October of what year. And in the song, it has a line that says that he was acting out in his hotel room. And they're saying, to see that this is what was in the song. And it is what that happened to Liam Payne. It's really very telling that this man's death, something is strange about it. Now, I also know that a couple hours before his passing, he did a sit-down interview where he spoke about Jay-Z and all of that. But I'm not going to, I know people are going to say, yes, and Jay-Z, yes, I'm aware of that. But I'm not going to point fingers there because I know that based on what Lottie Lux says, she says that we're going to hear of other celebrities, A-list celebrities passing under mysterious circumstances just the same. And these people will be taken out. She says that there are some people that are currently in danger. And she's like, I wouldn't say Cardi B is in danger, Would I say that? So, right there, she's telling us that there's something going on with Cardi B in that area. And it makes me want to believe her because I remember Sloan Bella bringing up Sean Diddy Combs and then she said, Offset, who's Offset? He keeps coming up. There's something going on there. There's a connection there. She says, I don't know what it is, but something is going on there. There's a connection there. So I'm just putting all the information out there to you guys because I believe that people need to question things. We need to, point at stuff and say, hey, but you told us that this happened. It's not making much of a sense, as Sloan Bella told us when her son passed, everything they had on the report was completely false about her son. His height, everything, the time of his passing, everything. And she suspected that something was wrong. And this is how she knew in her heart that they had taken out her son because of what she was doing. She had to be doing her own investigation to correct the time of her son's passing, to correct her son's height, to correct what truly happened, because they had it as though he was just blazing down the streets and all of that. Sloan Bella had to be basically going after the people who, the investigator at the time that her son passed, they didn't do the job. They had false information, and she had to be hiring people to ensure that the information gets corrected. And I think the last time she said she's going to give us an update on that, because we've been asking her, because she's been asking for the lady. She said there was a lady there that really saw what happened, and she was asking if anyone knows the lady, but she hasn't heard anything as yet. So my point is, if we suspect that something is wrong, we're not, paranoid to suspect that something is wrong. And I think that paranoia is being often used so loosely for people to, people want us to think that we're overthinking, we're overreacting, we're doing too much. We're not paranoid to think that there is foul play involved in this man's death based on, our feeling. We are all connected spiritually, and it can't be that, so many of us just want to be paranoid or delusional. This is what people often does to make us not question things too much and make us not follow, our intuition. And I want to say to you, we are all not paranoid. Something happened to this man, and if you feel something has happened to him, or someone that has passed, say what you feel happened, even if it sounds batshit crazy. Say it openly, and I bet you, the moment you start talking, even if it's wild. Remember when we heard about Michael Jackson passing, and automatically we said something happened, and then later something happened, and even now we are realizing more about Michael Jackson's passing. A lot happened. It wasn't just something, it was a lot. So I'm just saying, with this gentleman, Liam Payne, if you feel something is wrong, something is wrong. And if you post something and say, I think that there's something weird about his passing, I don't think that, he passed away from drug and alcohol, and you want to post that on social media, don't let anyone tell you not to post that out of respect for the family. They want you to shut up so that this man's image is tainted, and that is not okay. Do you realize that when people tell us to shut up about these things, what about the individual? You want this man to pass with a tainted image. What about his mother? So we need to speak up whenever our intuition says something is wrong. Even if it sounds wild, even if it sounds batshit crazy, say something. Now, guys, that's all I have to share in this video. It was a lengthy one, and my apologies, but sometimes, it happens, okay? So let me know what are your thoughts. Stay safe, and see you guys later. Bye, guys.